All In Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the land of brisket and barbecue, Lone Stars and Longhorns, this is All In Colts, presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in. It's time again for the Unstable Pick 6. We will take turns with our predictions of 6 high-profile games around the NFL, including a couple from the AFC South. So, let's go. All In Colts.
Yes, I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. And we are the Unstable Blues. Happy to present All In Colts as part of the Rogue Media Sports Network. Happy birthday. Continued all week.
I am actually 19 now. Everyone's wishing me happy birthday and stuff. No one wished me happy birthday after I was actually 19.
Right.
Because I was born later in the night. So,
Yep.
I mean, no hate to anyone or anything like that. I just thought it was funny.
Well, we'll make sure we pour it on. We'll pour it on. Many happy birthdays to you this whole episode. Like, I feel like everyone watching this right now, just comment happy birthday to Liam, and we'll see how many happy birthdays we can get you. All right?
That would be awesome.
There you go. So,
first, as always, Colts Corner Bulletin. Shout out to Anthony Richardson for winning the Angry Run Scepter this week for his first touchdown run of the game against the Jets. Ran someone over.
Yes, absolutely. Good Morning Football. Kyle Brandt does the Angry Runs every week. 2 quarterbacks were in the running this week, that being Josh Allen and Anthony Richardson.
Let me guess. Josh Allen's was the game-sealing touchdown against Kansas City.
It was whatever, at the end, into the end zone. So yeah. Also, Josh Jacobs did a little on
Jalen Johnson.
I think it was Jalen Johnson.
So apparently Josh Jacobs was mic'd up or something, and he said he did this and was like, "Come hit me, Jalen! Come hit me, Jalen!" And Jalen went for it and did not go off for him.
And then he tweeted out later that if he was stuck in the woods with a grizzly bear, somebody help the bear. So a little play on words there. AR stands for Angry Runs.
Mm-hmm.
So I did I think I even mentioned here that I believe that it should have just been all Anthony Richardson. So I went ahead and did a cut up to show all of the potential Angry Runs just from this past week from Anthony Angry Richardson runs.
I like it. And with the logo at the end? Okay.
72 did not have a good day. He got swatted, and then he got on his back, took a piggyback ride, and still got it to the JFD. Yeah. So, Angry Runs could have just been Anthony Richardson highlights.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Before we get started with the picks, though, we want you to be a part of this. Comment your picks before Thursday Night Football, so no cheating. And if you get them all right, we'll shout you out on next week's Pick 6. As always, before we make our picks this week, let's take a look at last week's picks.
Yes. We both had the Eagles, and
both got
I think
that
we
one.
got that one. Yeah.
Yep. And then we both had the Ravens. Both lost that one.
Yeah. This is what the third, I think, that the Steelers have not scored a touchdown and still won the game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the Colts
Can't tell if that's
beat
good
them.
football. Yeah, the Colts did beat them.
I mean, it's good defense and good special teams.
Defense, yeah, not good offense though.
You can win on your defense and special teams. Okay.
Yep. Go Colts.
That's right.
And then the next game, we both had the Niners, and the Seahawks sadly got that.
Yes. Yeah, that was a kind of a shocker there. And then we both had the Bills over the Chiefs. You did your thing, and you didn't. You made the gutsy call, sir, to not go with the undefeated team, and this time it worked out for you.
It paid off. Thank goodness it did.
Yes.
Thank
so that means
goodness the Bills did that. Oh my!
That means we don't have to pick the Chiefs this week. We
Huh.
no longer have to pick the Chiefs.
Oh yes.
Oh, thank goodness.
Thank
So
goodness.
tired of them. All right, and then we had one where I picked the Chargers.
I picked the Bengals, and the Chargers got it on a last-minute drive.
Yeah. Now, to credit, like the Bengals came all the way back, but
Justin Herbert looked really good, though.
It looked like no one wanted to win the game at the end, though. Like, it was like we're gonna, this 3 and out or this 3 and out, or like how many missed field goals can the Bengals have? They had 3 missed field goals, 2. One, they got a penalty and then still missed it. I'm like, oh my goodness, just hit a field goal. You're Matt Gain right now.
Once again, Joe Burrow playing phenomenal.
Right.
But can't get anything done. 29 fantasy points for what?
The Bengals are failing him right now. It's just the way it is.
Yep.
And then the last game was the Monday night game, and we both had Houston over Dallas in their place. I saw something about how many people have won this year in that stadium, and it's like like a EPL team that's won in that stadium. Jake Paul that's won in that stadium. Like, so many people have won in that stadium, but you know who hasn't won in that stadium this year?
The disappointment.
The disastrous Cowboys is what I'm calling them now. It is bad. Like, it is bad. It was disappointment when they get to the playoffs and fail. Like, this is yikes. So,
exactly.
Joe Mixon just went off. So, and then the defense of Houston did what they needed to do as well.
I didn't have a final score yesterday because we were recording the episode as the Monday night game was going on. You want to know my final score for fantasy?
I saw, sir.
Does the audience want to know?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they want to know how glorious. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. 233 points. That is basically 2 weeks of playoff fantasy combined.
Yeah,
I sure hope I have over 300 points in my fan. And I don't know. I'm going to check right now. I'm going to see if I've secured the number 1 spot.
Sir. Just you wait. You got to peak at the right time. You got to peak at the right time.
I am going to see if I've secured.
I'm sure you already did last week. Playoffs?
No, secured the
playoffs.
The number 1 spot is playoffs.
I'm just hoping your mother can win a game.
The number 1 spot is what I'm looking at right now.
Okay,
As of right now, you are not in the playoffs.
Well, you got to peak at the right time, okay? There's a few more weeks. Turn it around. I started it this week, beating a 10-year-old.
Someone has officially become eliminated from the playoffs, though. And I
You
did
did this. You did this to your mother. Oh, man. When you come home from college next week, you need to apologize to her.
I'm sorry.
Well, you're doing great in fantasy, but I'm currently winning the Unstable Pick 6. I got a record of 42-22.
Yep, and I have a record of 39-25, which still isn't bad. You're making it sound bad. I bet you, according to all the other analysts out there, we are doing a lot better.
I'm 3 games up.
You are
3 games
up.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe we'll differentiate a little bit just to kind of keep things spicy.
You never know. I'm gonna go with what I think is best, and
Yep.
I'm sure you will as well. There's no way that you'll make a heart decision over a head decision. All right, it's now time for this week's picks, and we told you we'd have a special guest, so please welcome CEO of Rogue Media, Corey, to the program.
What's up, Kevin? Thank you, man. I appreciate it, dude.
You got it. All right, here we go. This is a 6-pack of games to pick called our Unstable Pick 6. So, game number 1 is Tennessee Titans at Houston. Calling this the Battle for Houston Part 1.
Yeah.
I love it.
For a while now, I've said that I think that these two teams should go old school college rivalry on it, and whoever wins this game gets to wear the old Houston Oilers uniform the next year. Just kind of pass it back and forth.
I think that makes sense, man. We need to send someone a tweet, Kevin. Get them to do that right here. There needs to be like a cool trophy too, like some of those rivalries in the Big Ten.
Yeah, like a bronze and Derrick.
Yes. 100%. That's what that should be. Hands down. This is Mike Hamilton, who's one of our executive producer at Rogue Media. He huge Tennessee Titans fan because he was a Houston Oilers fan. So this matchup here is one near and dear to his heart as well.
Yeah.
Corey, why don't you start us off? What do you think?
Yeah, this maybe in the past would have been a closer matchup and maybe would have even swung the way of the Titans this year. And this is in Houston, Kevin. It's in Houston.
Yep.
Coming off of the Texans coming off of a laying the smack down on the Cowboys. I don't think they let up. They're going to win this game going away. I don't know what the spread is here, but they're going to win this 100%, no doubt.
Yeah.
Liam.
I think first off, it's in Houston, which is a big play in the favor of Houston. Tennessee also has just not been performing this year at all. Will Levis is all over the place, Mr. Mayonnaise. And Nico Collins is back as well. Houston just looks like they're in shape to go win the championship. So I'm gonna go Houston.
Yeah. It looks like Houston is running away with things. It's still a little sketch sometimes on offense. Some of that sophomore slump is maybe setting in on CJ Stroud, but Houston, Tennessee is where receivers go to retire. So I got Houston on that one.
Yeah, very, very, very valid. Next game is the New England Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. Miami with Tua back. They're trying to fight to get in the playoffs here. What are we thinking?
Okay, so and to be clear, the reason we picked this game, the reason many of these games are in here, how they affect the Colts. Because I think the Dolphins are 2 games back from the Colts, who are 1 game out right now. So, and it should be, given records, should be a good game. But here's the deal. Even back in Brady's days, the Dolphins had the Patriots number in Miami. It's just something about cold weather teams having to play in warmer weather. It is sort of that season where it's getting like comfortable in Miami instead of sweltering. But I think, Miami is on the up, and that offensive line for the Patriots is still very much in question. So I've got the Dolphins here. What about you, Corey?
Yeah, I think close. I think the Patriots, now that, they have Drake May, at the helm, there's no quarterback controversy or whatever you want to call it, what it was with Brissett. But now that May is there, I think these games are close. I think the Patriots, kept that to a 6-point game against the Rams last week. I think it's close, but yeah, I'm going to go with Miami as well. I think the firepower is there. I think they can see some separation from the bottom of the AFC and will compete, obviously, for one of those last wild card spots. So, yeah, give me Miami here, for sure. But close. I don't think this is like Miami smashes them or anything, but I think it's a close win.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I kind of agree with Corey there. I think Miami – I think New England is going to put up a competition, but I think Miami overall just has the better offense. I think it's going to come down to whoever can produce on offense, and I think Miami just has more weapons than New England has with, the dual running backs that they have, because Devon Achane is amazing, but Raheem Mostert is also pretty good. The receiving core that they have Odell Beckham washed up a little bit, but still it's Odell Beckham. Can't count him out. Jonnu Smith is really good as well. So they just have overall a really good offense. If Tua can stay healthy, then the sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's good. Next game then, once again, pertaining to the Colts here, would be the Broncos at the Raiders. Broncos looking real good, but the questionable their competition at the moment. They're currently one game up on the Colts for that last and 7th seed in the playoff race. Liam, why don't you start us off here?
Okay. I think this could swing either way, really. Division matchups are always hard, always. I think the Broncos are favored here, but I'm gonna take a swing. I'm gonna go with Vegas here. I think Vegas is gonna get it. It's in Vegas. Brock Bowers is playing really good. Yes, they don't have many weapons on offense, but their defense is pretty solid. Plus, I'm still like Gardner Minshew on the inside. So,
yeah, I get it. You would know how Brock Bowers is going on your fantasy team, wouldn't you?
I would.
You dog, you. You can go back and look at yesterday's episode to see how our fantasy broke down this week.
Nice.
I've got. It's tough because, like you mentioned, the divisional matchup, and Broncos with the hot hand, but you got to think: are the Raiders playing to lose or are they playing to win? And it's early. It's still, we're talking about playoffs, but it's still a little too early to really say exactly where a team's heart is at. Not that you ever play to lose, of course not. No, you never do that.
No, Kevin.
Tanking isn't a thing. I am going to say my heart says Raiders because that helps the Colts, which means the Broncos probably win. So that's what I'm going to go with there. So
it's our first differentiating one.
Yep.
I was a little concerned that the Colts fans here were just going with the heart and picking the Raiders here, Liam. I have seen nothing from the Raiders outside of your Brock Bowers, which you'll get an 89-yard game again with a touchdown and like 9 receptions. You'll get that, and the Broncos are going to win 28-7. I think Bo Nix. I think the Broncos just see something right now. The defense is playing well. This could be in Vegas. This could be in Puerto Rico. This could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. The Broncos are going to win. And Liam and Kevin, you guys are going to get your matchup here, right? What is this? Week 14?
Yeah.
Colts at Broncos. So you're going to get your shot here.
Yes.
I don't think you're going to get the gift of the Raiders beating the Broncos.
No, the most troubling part is that we already the Colts already lost to the Broncos in the preseason. I know it's preseason, but the defense was really struggling against their ones. maybe an R2s, and then it's in Denver in December.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Not
all right.
fun time to play.
You're just gonna run the ball. Just run the ball with Jonathan Taylor and Richardson. You'll be
Right.
fine. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Broncos.
And to be fair, like you bring up Bo Nix, I think the difference that we're seeing between Bo Nix and Anthony Richardson is the experience in college.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Nix was 6 years in college, and Anthony Richardson was 2, and he only started one full season.
Isn't Richardson still like younger than a majority of like rookie quarterbacks, second-year quarterbacks?
He is the youngest quarterback still in the league.
Yeah,
in his second year in the league. So
see, there you go.
Yeah.
You're fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
I have him on my fantasy team, so I need Richardson to step up here. I mean, what are we doing?
I like
what
it.
Are we doing?
I like it.
Yeah.
Gutsy call there, Liam.
Next game, Cardinals in Seattle playing the Seahawks.
Yep. Let's see. This one is for the division lead. Cardinals currently up a game, and so this would put the head-to-head in favor of Seattle if they would win, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think the Seahawks are going to get it done, and that's a tough place to play, and everybody forgets, like, the Seahawks are playing really good football. They forget about the 3 wideout combo that they have, and Geno Smith, is third still in yards in the season. So that northwest corner, everybody forgets about, but it's tough. It's noisy, and so I think that Seahawks are going to get that done. What do you think, Corey?
I'm from the Northwest. I grew up in Portland. I'm a huge Seahawks fan. That's my team. So I'm always cautiously optimistic. Geno, bless his soul. It's never easy with Geno. It feels like it can be an interception on any play, or a sack fumble for a touchdown for the other team, and then he can lead a game-winning drive like he did against San Francisco. So. Where you guys were leaning Raiders, Liam, going the Raiders here because your heart. I think I will always go Seahawks, especially in a matchup. The Cardinals have played us tough over the last few years. There was a season I think we were 7-0, 8-0 or something, and Kyler Murray came in. Might have been his first year as a quarterback, and they came in and gave us our first loss, and then actually just spiraled us down to nothingness. So, but you mentioned the 3 wideouts, Kenneth Walker. The defense is healthy. This is in Seattle. I think we'll build on some momentum from the Niners game. So, give me Seahawks. Go Hawks.
I like it. I think the Seahawks are the superior bird in this case. Done.
A Seahawk would rip up a Cardinal. That wouldn't even be close.
Exactly. If we're going by that logic, Seattle. But I'm still going to choose Seattle. I think their offense is too hard to go up against for the Arizona defense. And I just don't think Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. can keep up with the Seattle offense.
All right, there you go. All right, 2 more. The next one, we're going to stay somewhat in NFC West, and we're going to go Niners at the Packers. Our other team as Colts fans is the Niners, so we went with that game. And so let's see. Corey, why don't you start us off here?
Is Brock Purdy, is he playing in this? Do you know? Is he healthy? I'm getting a yes from Liam and an iffy.
I don't know.
There was a shoulder. There was a shoulder soreness. He was day to day with shoulder soreness, as it is right now.
Okay. Man, this is a tough game. This is for sure a tough game. I feel like the Niners aren't going anywhere quite yet. I would love to see them just go away, but it's not going to happen. And the Packers just skate by with some of these wins. I still don't know how they win some of the games they do. Last week against the Bears, they should have lost, and they somehow won. So give me Niners on the road with the Brock Purdy. If he's playing, a little banged up, but he's playing. I think McCaffrey just needed some games to get under his belt, and this feels like a breakout Christian McCaffrey, like 3 touchdown kind of game, and get the Niners back on track.
Yeah.
Niners are fighting to stay alive, and the Packers are trying to make sure that they don't love interceptions.
Yeah. play on words there.
Here you go.
I think this is a big game for CMC here. Like Corey said, it's kind of like a bounce back game for him. After this injury, I think this is the game to get him back on track to what we know CMC can do, what we have seen. I hope George Kittle is playing, although he was injured. Juwan Jennings needs to have a big game because they're going up against a good Packers team. But, I mean, the Packers barely beat Chicago. And I think that, if you're comparing the teams, Green Bay barely beat Chicago. I think San Francisco would beat Chicago pretty heavily. So if you're just going by that, I think San Francisco gets it here.
All right. So the Niners beat the Packers last year in the playoffs, and the Packers did not like that. They wanted to, keep going, and they just barely lost. And some of the ways that they lost were called into question. So I think the Packers are really going to want to get rid of that taste in their mouth, and it's in Green Bay. But I just don't trust the Packers right now, so I'm going to go Niners.
Yeah.
All right.
Our final game of the week, Baltimore in LA playing the Chargers. Chargers coming off a big game against the Bengals, who the Bengals and Ravens just competed, like high-level competition back and forth.
My. That was crazy. Okay, this is the Harbaugh Bowl Part 3. They played once in the regular season and then in the Super Bowl back 10 years ago. And then and the Chargers are currently a half game up on the Ravens for the 5th seed in the playoffs as it stands right now. So, which Harbaugh is more Harbaugh right now? That's the question. And to me, the Chargers are a much more well-rounded, more Harbaugh-centric team, built in the trenches, built on the defense. They're going to run the ball, but they're going to play really good, sound team defense. And then, they're going to pass it occasionally, and it's going to be magical. And so I'm going to say that the Chargers get this one done. What do you think, Corey?
So the Ravens had this game against the Raiders early on in the season, and it was the second week in a lot of eliminator pools that I was in. That was the game. The Ravens were coming off of a week 1 loss. There was no way they were going to start 0-2. Put the house on the Ravens against the Raiders. And you know what happened? They lost. They stunk it up. I don't think that happens this time. I think Baltimore had that tough game against Pittsburgh, and I needed 2 showers after that game. I felt dirty. It was just a dirty game. I get the Chargers are playing well. They won on that last second touchdown last week. Like I understand. All the momentum feels like it should be the Chargers. So I'm gonna zig or zag. I'm gonna zag or zig, whatever the word is.
I'll take
either one. Give me Ravens in this game.
All right. Liam, finish us off.
I feel like I'm just agreeing with Corey here the whole time, but this is exactly where I was going to go from the start. I think they're using Derrick Henry very well now. That backfield is a very, very scary backfield. In the first 2 weeks where the Ravens went 0-2, Derrick Henry, I believe, had a combined yardage of 17 yards and like 3 or 4 carries. So they just didn't use him. I think it'll be a close game strictly because Justin Herbert is healthy. He looked amazing in the last game whenever he was healthy. He was able to put on some magical stuff like we saw Herbert do in his rookie season. He kind of reminded me of that a lot. But I think Baltimore just has too much, and their defense, not very many people talk about it because Derrick Henry is on the offense and stuff, but their defense is still very, very solid. So I think they're going to find a way to stop Justin Herbert in that offense.
All right. I like it.
Corey, I like being aligned with the birthday boy. I feel good. I feel good about that.
It's a good call.
Yep.
It's a good call. Thanks for joining us, Corey. We want you guys to be involved in this, so comment your picks before Thursday Night Football. No cheating, and if you get them all right, we will shout you out in next week's Pick 6. But that's all we have for today. We're going to be back tomorrow with our update from the South, look around the AFC South, and then we're going to wrap up the week with our preview of the Lions going to Lucas Oil to take on the Colts in the Colts Indiana Knights uniforms.
Yep. This is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to stay all in Colts.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.
All right. Thank you very much, Corey. We're gonna stay on and do our bit at the beginning, and I'll splice it back around. So we just didn't want to waste your time with hanging out at the beginning with this.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. I'll be keeping track. I'll see how I do. So here we go.
Right.
I think me and Liam we only differed on the Raiders one. I think that was it.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's the only one I differed with.
Besides
the Chargers one.
Yeah. Cool. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for having me on.
Sir.
I'll be on the lookout for it.
All right.
Bye.
See ya. All right. Cool. Zip through the beginning then. You gonna zip through the beginning then?
Yeah. I'll just go through it. Coming to you from the land of brisket and barbecue, Lone Stars and Longhorns. This is All in Colts, presented by the Rogue Media Sports Network.
Did you like that? Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the land of brisket and barbecue, Lone Stars and Longhorns, this is Unstable Blues, presented by the
I messed you up because I said it wrong.
You did.
I said this is the Unstable Blues, presented by All in Colts.
It's a good thing I got it. It's a good thing I got to edit this anyway. So, all right, here we go again.